All right, guys, so what you're looking at right now inside of my computer is a call tracking report. This is literally all of the calls that came in on this particular campaign for this particular website of mine. And as you can see, for these dates, you may be looking at these dates a little bit later as I'm recording the video ahead of time, but from these dates, the past 7 days, a total call volume of $215. How insane is that? The cool part is that most of this income generated was totally passive once I got it set up. All right, guys, before we get into today's video, do me a favor and smash a like on it. And if you're new here, you're gonna wanna make sure that you drop below and subscribe and take the bell notification icon so that I can update you every single time that I post a new video. So in this video, what I wanna do is I want to take you behind the scenes of how we generate calls and how we get clients for our micro lead generation websites. In fact, the website campaign that I'm gonna show you inside of my call tracking software today has generated me in the past 7 days $215. I've got it right in front of me right now. That is from the calls that came in on this campaign that were successfully answered, transferred over to the client, and turned out to, they had them on the phone for a good duration of time so that they had time to close the lead. Now, this is what is so cool about this method is that once the work is done and you set it up, these sites remain passively working for you even when you clock out. Now, I'm not saying that like it's easy and you're gonna get rich quick or anything like that. Like, you are gonna have to put in the work. You are gonna have to put in the time up front to get these set up. But the cool part is once they are set up, they start to work for you on autopilot because we are going after niches and locations that are fairly low competition, which means once they're set up and once they're bringing in traffic like this, they're going to generate phone calls for you. And those phone calls you're going to be able to sell to a small business owner, and that's going to happen automatically for you if you have call tracking set up. So what I want to do is I want to hop on the computer here and I want to share with you a little more in-depth details of this campaign and exactly how it works. Now, if you have any questions, make sure you drop me a comment on this video, or if you enjoyed this video and it was helpful, also drop me a comment so that I know that I should shoot more videos like this one. Okay, so now we are inside of my computer and I want to show you exactly how this works. So what I do is I set up what's called a tracking phone number. Now, a tracking phone number is really unique because it allows you to put this phone number on your lead generation website and it allows people to call the phone number. But the cool part is that you don't have to be the one answering the calls. In fact, you can forward this over to someone who's going to buy the leads for you or from you rather, and you don't have to be on the phone ever answering the phone or talking to anyone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you how this works. So what we do is we set up a website that we want to generate these leads through. Let's just pretend it's a roofing website in the city of Madison, Wisconsin. So what we do is we set up a website, we get traffic coming to that website, and we put our tracking phone number on the website. Now, for the actual website name, we have to be careful. We don't want to say that we're Bob's Roofing. What we want to do is we want to do something generic, like a Reliable Madison Roofer or something like that. Because then the leads can go to Bob's Roofing, they can go to Harry's Roofing. It doesn't matter the name of the company at that point that we end up selling the leads to, as long as your branding is generic enough. So here's what we do. We set up this tracking phone number, we put it on our website, we put a forwarder on. So right here where it says single number, this is going to be the phone number of, and this isn't a real phone number here, it's just an example, but this would be a phone number of a roofing contractor in the city that we're targeting, let's say Madison, that we think we want to work with. So we've done some research ahead of time. We've went maybe into Google or wherever, and we saw this roofer that looks like they have good reviews and we think we want to work with them to sell our leads to. We're forwarding over our tracking number to them. But what we're gonna do so that we can land this client pretty much on autopilot is we're gonna navigate over to this call features tab inside of our call tracking software, and we're going to enable what's called the whisper feature right here. See where it says whisper feature enabled? You're gonna enable that, and you're gonna use the text-to-speech option, and you're gonna put in a whisper text that says something like lead from whatever your name is. So I just put lead from Paul James. So here's what happens. And this is really where the magic comes in with this method, guys. And I want you to understand this because it's so powerful. So customer comes to our website, MadisonReliableRoofing.com. That's not really my website, but let's pretend it is. They come to our website. They need a new roof. They see our phone number on the website, our tracking phone number. They call the tracking phone number. It's automatically forwarded over to whoever we set this to forward to. Let's just say Bob's Roofing, who we put into the tracking software. Bob doesn't know us yet. He has no idea who we are. He gets a call. He picks up the phone and he says, hello. And all of a sudden it says, lead from Paul James. That's what plays when he picks up the phone. And then he hears, hello. That's the customer talking. And he says, hi, how can I help you? And they say, hey, I need a new roof. Can you give me a quote? And he says, yeah, sure, I can give you a quote. What's your address? He goes out there, he gives them a quote. He sees this is a legitimate lead. Guess what he's thinking here, guys? He's thinking, who the heck is this Paul James guy that's giving me leads that just played on my phone when I picked up the phone? So he's gonna be curious, he's gonna be wondering. And from this point, this is where this gets really interesting. We reach out to him after we sent him a couple of good leads. Could just be one even. We reach out to him, this can be done by email. If you like calling people, you could call them on the phone too. You don't have to just use email or just phone. Whatever you wanna use, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And you say, what is up, Bob? I am Paul. I am the guy that's been sending you the leads. And you just kind of stay silent for a minute or end the email there. And he's gonna be like, wow, I was wondering, who that was. Thanks for sending it. And you can follow back up and be like, yeah, you're welcome. This is what we do. We generate leads and I've got some more I'd like to send you. How does $50 a lead sound? And he's gonna either say that's great or that's too much money. And from that point, you negotiate. This is the beauty of it. Now, for our roofing contractor, that's around what we get paid is $50 per lead that we work with. And it's amazing because he's getting big jobs. Not only is he getting, repairs here and there, but he's getting installs. And I don't know if you know the value of what a roof installation costs, but it's pretty darn expensive. Anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000. So is he gonna be willing to trade $50 for $5,000? Yeah. I mean, that's a trade he's gonna make all day long, right? So that is exactly how this works. So I'm gonna map this out before we wrap up this video on a little whiteboard app here, just to make sure that you fully understand how this works. All right, so we're picking out a niche like roofing. We're building a website. By the way, if you don't know how to build websites, you can find someone on Fiverr.com to build it for you. There's literally people on there that will build websites like this for $5 to $10. Like, I kid you not. Go look for yourself. Fiverr.com. So we build this website. Someone over here is looking for a roof. On our website, we have our call tracking phone number, which we've set up in our call tracking software. If you need a call tracking software, look at the link in the description of my video. You can go and learn about the one that I use. So someone comes to our website that we've built or we've paid someone else $10 to build. They call our tracking phone number, okay? That phone number is automatically forwarded over to, let's just say Bob, the roofer. He gets our lead because he knows it was us because it said the whisper feature at the beginning that said it was from me. And we follow up with Bob. Let's just say we're over here. I know I'm a great artist. We follow up with Bob and say, hey, Bob, would you like more leads? It's $50 every time. We could do this via email if we want, if you're shy. And if you're like me and you like to hide behind a computer because that's why you got into this whole online marketing thing, that's cool. That's what I like to do. That's what you do. And Bob says, yeah, I would like to continue getting leads. You respond back, all right, Bob, perfect. $50 every single time. Now, the call tracking solution that I have set up actually totals up every time a call comes in, and it automatically sends an invoice to Bob at the end of every month, or you can set it up even sooner if you want. We do every month for this particular example, and it sends him an invoice and says, hey, you got this many calls, and this many calls times $50 equals this much money, pay us this amount. That's how it works, guys. And it's really straightforward. It's a really killer method. And it's awesome because it allows beginners to get started without having a lot of credibility behind them. I want you to think of all the other methods that are out there. If you're talking about search engine optimization and selling client SEO, or if you're talking about running Facebook ads and becoming like a Facebook ad agency, or if you're talking about being a website designer or a graphic designer. All of those 4 things are good. They're good business models, don't get me wrong. But they're a little bit harder for beginners to get started with them because at the beginning phase, you lack credibility because you don't have a portfolio showing your previous clients. With this strategy and this method, you can literally go out there and get started because you've got leads in hand and you've built your credibility up instantly by sending them a test lead. That was your trial lead basically, so that they can see that you're legit. So if you're looking for a good way to get started, this is definitely a method you should consider trying out. Not every site you build is going to be a winner, but you're gonna have ones that you do build that are gonna do well, like the example I showed you, like ones that do $215 a week. That was one of mine. And how many of those do you really need to build a business that you feel good about? I mean, maybe with 5 of those websites, you might think about actually quitting your 9 to 5 and focusing on it full time. Maybe you build out 10 websites and half of them you build are duds, but maybe the other half generate you $215 a week each one. So that's just kind of how you have to look at it, a little bit of a numbers game, especially if you're new and you're going after non-complicated stuff, which is what I recommend. So anyways, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Smash a like on it if you did. If you have questions for me, comment them below. I will be reading through them. I will be using those questions to make future tutorials for you. And if you're new here and you're not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe and take the bell notification icon, and I will update you the next time I post a new video. And if you want to check out the call tracking software, if you don't have one yet, check out the one that I put in the link in the description, and that'll kind of get you going and give you some background on how to get started. But anyways, guys, until next time, I will see you in another video. I am Paul James. Peace out.